Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing La Chaux de Fonds' answer to the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Concept Series. I live for the days like this. We're talking about the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Regatta Tourbillon Chronograph. So 46 millimeters in diameter in white gold. This is the 2007 model year limited edition of 18 pieces from back when GP was up to its neck in America's Cup sponsorship with BMW Oracle Racing. This is a supremely cool regatta chronograph that is also a flying tourbillon. Let's start with the basics. It's big. At 46 millimeters in diameter, it's a Laureato platform, but a huge one. 17 millimeters thickened from lug tip to lug tip, 52.3 millimeters. I actually expected lug to lug to be broader. As a result, despite the size of the watch, 46 sounds absolutely huge. I can wear this quite securely. And you can even see that the lugs are not out past the end of my wrist. They're almost not even close. So yeah, you can wear this on a wrist my size. It even seems to wear thinner than I measure it. It doesn't look like a 17 on the wrist. This is a wonderfully comfortable watch, although it is substantial. You can really feel the mass of all that gold. So I'd recommend wrists of 16 centimeters circumference or larger. Buy with confidence and wear with confidence. Now we've got a remarkably integrated strap here that's connected the right way. This could easily have been done with spring bars, but note that Girard-Perregaux used bars and hex screws. Hex screws can take more torque than flatheads before stripping, so they make for a more secure junction even than conventional screws and bars would, fixing the strap to the case. It is a fully integrated rubber strap. You can see it has some character lines molded into it, so it appears as integrated as if this were on a bracelet. The first Laureato of 1975 was very much of the integrated bracelet sports watch era, and this takes after that original in a modern paradigm using an integrated strap encase. Now the strap is all matte white. It terminates in a buckle that is a double fold twin trigger deployant. You can see that it is a perforated strap with many different scorings, so you can cut this to length, and we will cut it so it suits you. Make no mistake, we'll take care of that. There is some flexibility built in, however. You can see there are two sets of divots, so if you have a strap tool, you can change the spring bar anchoring point here to fine size it in or out. Now the clasp itself is actually made of titanium, and it is a double fold sequential close, so one side closes before the other. You can see the GP logo externally with satin finish, and note that the release triggers here are faceted to match the design of the iconic Laureato bezel. You can also see the same design on the outer face of the crown. So a lot of thought goes into making sure that this is a holistic design. And then the buckle, of course, in titanium is all satinated. There are ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps inside this clasp, so over time it will retain its crispness. So a lot of thoughtful design going into GP watches and even their parts right here. Now the case is all of satin finish, which is nice. It's almost organic compared to some previous Laureatos, which are sharply angular. This one has more of a rounded profile to deal with the volumes in a graceful fashion. And it's also in good taste to keep all of this precious metal satinated. In high polish, this would have been overpowering. There are a few polished accents, but I emphasize just a few. Primarily the polished plinth of the bezel, with the bezel's top and the sides, the facets, all being satinated. Now we have a mono pusher here for the chronograph system, and taking a page from the Royal Oak Offshore's design book here, we have a fully expressed bezel gasket that helps to achieve the water resistance sealing. Screw down crown. You can see we have a screw fixed case back, 100 meters water resistant. You can absolutely take this regatta chronograph swimming. Let's do a quick loom shot right here to get a sense of just how well loomed it is. And you can see it is remarkably well loomed, including luminescent features for the chronograph hands. So that's kind of impressive and a little bit unexpected. A medley of features. We have sapphire, we have rubber, we have white gold. We also have carbon fiber, reminding you that it's not just modern aircraft and race cars made of carbon fiber, it's also America's Cup yachts. Let's move that giant broadsword style minute hand out of the way here so we can see the flying tourbillon. The flying tourbillon surrounded by a lovely satinated, circular satinated scale. It is a 1-minute flying tourbillon that is no upper bridge to block your view. That's what makes it a flying tourbillon. It is a 3 hertz tourbillon, so beating away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It acts as the seconds hand for the dial when the chrono is not running, and you can see that it has an extravagantly black polished tourbillon carriage. See how the whole thing's been black polished and has fired blued screws? You can even see that they've beveled the edge of the tourbillon cage, creating a sharp inward angle, 2 sharp inward angles where the bevels meet, and then 2 sharp outward points where bevels meet on the external face. This is a deeply impressive work, and you can see the other side has 1, 2, 3, 4 sharp interior angles where bevels meet. The screws are all fired blue. We have a Regatta chronograph. I won't show you how this works. It is a chronograph that is a 10-minute countdown. So in Regatta, 10 minutes is the start, 5 minutes is the second gun, and then at the end of that second period of 5 minutes, you start. So this is how this works. You've got this 10-minute scale, and it retrogrades when reset. And you can see the first 5 minutes, and then much more clearly the last 5 minutes. We also have a scale off to the side that shows you that 10-minute sequence broken up into series of 5 minutes, but then it also gives you a full 60-minute scale beyond that. So that's your chronograph minutes display, and I always like a chronograph that gives me 60 minutes, not just 30 or 45. Then we got our red varnished chronograph seconds hand at center, and the back of the watch is just as impressive as the dial. This movement absolutely rocks. Again, I said this was a shot across the bow of the Royal Oak Concept Series, and this is as fine as anything you will get from Audemars Piguet Reynaud et Papy. This is the caliber V02 manual wind 96-hour power reserve. It features a lateral clutch column wheel chronograph, and you can see all of the components of the chronograph in action here. The column wheel, the levers, the horns, the clutch, all in steel, satinated across their top and micro-beveled on their edge. There are outward points where 2 bevels meet in sharp points, and then there are sharp inward angles where bevels meet in sharp inward cleft. Very impressively finished with engine turning, satination, beveling. You can see there's media blasting, all of it pivoting on 30 joules, and it is literally as good as good gets. This is exemplary. This is the kind of haute horlogerie of which I speak when I speak of the very best. And if you look carefully, let me see if I can show this. I might not have the magnification, but if you look carefully, you can see even the wheels have been internally beveled with the spokes and the inner circumference micro-beveled to create a dazzling number of detail points, including more inner angles on really small parts. So everything about this watch profoundly impressive. Getting to review a watch like this makes up for all of the mundane pieces that I often review here. This is the kind of watch that gets me personally excited. And if it gets you personally excited, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.